Good morning, welcome. This is the 8 a.m. slightly earlier at 7:45. We'll be starting just a few minutes up to 7:45, everyone. Of course, if you're here on catch up, it doesn't really matter what time it is. It's just your time, your fitted in opportunity to stick a few moves in the right places of your body. So get on with it. Let's go. For you lot, just skip forwards maybe 3 minutes or so, and you'll be there at the circulation boosting part of this clip. And it will take you through the top, the trunk, the ankles, feet and toes trios. All of those areas that we know can get a bit stiff, tight, restricted, lose range of movement or decrease range of movement over time. And over time, it just ends up being the new us. And we're not having that. No way, Jose. So let's keep the best movement quality and capacity as we most possibly can, or even improve it a bit more. What do you say, Gillian Matthews? You've signed up for that, haven't you? Wet from Port Talbot. It's wet in Port Talbot today then. It's raining. We're not sure whether it's rained. Hang on, let me have a look. It's still quite dark out there. Can't tell. Can't tell. It's absolutely pitch black out there today. Hopefully the sun will start to decide to get its hat on and rise up shortly. We might be able to see where we're going a bit more. Right, morning Francis. Francis is in from Bristol. Christine Perry's just arrived. All ready for your daily dose, everyone? Well, if you're not ready now, you'll be ready by the time we're finished. You'll be ready for the day, hopefully. We know that this is a good bit of movement, else we wouldn't have been doing it for this long. And I'm sure your body knows that it's done it afterwards as well, for all the good reasons, of course. Morning, Vivian and Paul in from Bolton. So this is, we're kind of on countdown to coming home. We've got heavy 8 people each to assess today. It's a hard job assessing 8, for sure. I'm going to need to do lots of especially right side shoulder rolls, and I'm going to have to do lots of hand stretching, finger wiggling, because I do hold the pen a bit too tight. Right, morning Gillian with a J, welcome to the 8 a.m. Right, I'm going to get going. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, it's 7:45. Time to start the track from the top down to the bottom. Loosening everything up, mobilising everything, and hopefully feeling a lot better as we start to move into our day. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton, of course, and this is Thursday, the 26th of October 2023. Come on, let's get set up in good posture. Morning, Odile. I'll get this out of the way. Just make some adjustments to your posture. It's like taking an iron to your spine and ironing it out, lifting the chest, let the shoulders just drop back and down, bum tucked under, legs straight, feeling a bit taller in your height. External support, you might use it a little bit, you might need to have both hands on it, it's up to you. Have a think about what feels best for you and your balance and your stability today if you're in standing. Start pedaling the legs if you haven't done already. From seated, you might be all the way back in your chair, so take a moment to practice your hip walks, lifting and shifting and stepping your feet forwards. Let's just do that again, because this is a slightly different way and a functional way that we can shift around if we sat on the floor, the bed, a couch, a sofa, an armchair, to get us from A to B. Feet underneath your knees then, pedaling away. Lifting the legs just the knees a little bit higher. So they're only coming up maybe a couple of inches higher than their actual level when your feet are flat on the floor. And it's just enough room to get the toes to depart from the floor. They quickly land back down though, as you can see, rolling through, toes, ball of foot, and finally landing through to the heel. If the knees are not coming up too high, we've got better opportunity, better chance of not slumping, leaning, slouching, or tilting backwards. If you would like to start to add and build in with an arm swing, which starts its mission from the shoulders, you can bring the second arm in by all means, so you've got everything moving, but some of you might prefer to just keep contact with your external support. Try and best you can to keep the weight of your upper body over your hips, over your legs, so this external support is light. It's light but significant. Now the process of warming up has begun. Small but definite changes occurring through your body. Your muscles are waking up and warming up, increasing your body temperature a little bit. That temperature loosens the fluid within your joint capsules and what makes for better movement quality and comfort. And just a few changes through the breathing, bit deeper, heart rate's just come up maybe a few notches, and but you're not out of breath. Okay, set yourself up then. You might want to put your feet a bit wider, get into the knees. Let's go for the top trio, starting with lifts and pressing action through your shoulder joints, your shoulder girdle. You're lifting and sliding your shoulder blades up and down the spine. If there's a few clicks, crunks, grinds, creaks, don't worry about them so much. Try and just work through them in a smooth way. Unless it's obviously painful, then, you know, just back off a little bit so that it's in more comfortable ranges. Here's the shoulder rolls. Opening up, really opening the chest there. Feel what the shoulder blades are up to as well. They're up towards your ears, they're squeezing back, they're sliding down. And we only need about 4 of each, or 5 of each mobility move for it to do its job. The first one might feel a bit stiff, a bit creaky, a bit restricted, but the final couple should feel much better. Right, head in the middle, neck long, shoulders, everything from the collarbone downwards stays still for your head turns. Glancing, looking, taking your eyes round, have a look down the bottom of the room, up the top of the room. Just let the head and the neck move all on its lonesome. Although during the day when we're moving around, it's going to be joined up with lots of other actions as well. Arms will be moving, shoulders, trunk probably be moving. We're probably going to have a stepping action and a weight shift to do. So loads of things happening, all joining up. But here in the 8 AM, we just do it bit by bit, area by area. Take a pause there. Chin tuck in action. We're going to try and draw the chin in towards the throat without dipping or tipping. So eyes, maybe turn yourself around, have a look. What is there to look at in your room? Might be a picture, it might be a spot on the wallpaper. It might be the fireplace ledge. It might be the door handle. Just find something to look at. Tuck the chin in, lengthen the neck. This is an extra bit of lift and length through the posture, through the neck. Sits your head on top of your neck and the rest of your spine with better weight distribution And do this with your head against the car seat, and use the car seat backrest as a reference point if you want to crowbar some in later on today. Going out wide then with the feet getting into the knees, second round of your circulation booster, leaves the head and the hips forwards and just moves this centre bit of your body. Shoulders turning, trunk turning, extra warmth being built in the trunk area for our spinal mobility moves. If you do need to and prefer to have your external support, you can take that back just with one arm at a time, of course. And in seated, if you've got arms on your chair, you might not want to be cracking your elbow against one of those arms of the chair. Now, all of our seated options provide us with no balance challenge. If that's what you'd prefer on any of the moves, then take up a seated position. There are other ways in which you can move as well though. You might have something that you can nudge up to with your hips forwards. You might have something, perhaps not anything that's too unsturdy. You might have something that you nudge up to behind you that's got a bit of space, especially for these trunk turning actions. So take up your place, hips forwards, lower body not doing anything but staying still, and then twist, turn. Maybe just take a little extra head turn of glancing over your shoulder. Move the trunk first though, take the shoulders round, and then finish off with a glance over your shoulder. Small pause in the middle. Keeping the arms low, you might want to track the arm back a little way, as you might do to kind of reach round for something, to get something, as you might do to twist and turn as you put your arms into coats, jackets, shirts, blouses. There's lots of turning and twisting actions if we're driving, walking, crossing roads and things. And there's lots of twisting, turning movements, often with arm movements on the end, for working in the kitchen, moving in the bathroom, doing stuff around the garden, if it's not too horrible outside. Right, ready for some sideways bends. So sit tall, stand tall. Notice where the chair of the leg is, the chair of the leg of the chair, and notice where the leg of your own is, and track your fingertips down, your trouser leg or your chair leg. Use your external support, of course, as you see fit. You're going to feel some pulling, some stiffness, some tightness, but after a few, well, after a couple at least, you'll notice a tiny bit of difference. And then after the fourth or fifth one, you'll notice quite a bit of a difference from your first attempt to your final attempt. But these areas do get stiffer, so you might want to crowbar some in at different points in your day. Right, back extender then. So for balance, two things. Well, three, there's a few. Feet wider or slightly split stance. Definite for balance, chin tucked down, not looking at the ceiling, so eyes level, dead ahead. External support, you can have your hands on that as well. Lift tall then, chin tuck in, and then just go slightly beyond your best posture, and then recover and return. Here in seated, you might want to slide your hands round to your kneecaps, lift tall, chin tucked in, and then we've got a backwards bending action through the spine, loosening it up in those various different ways. Keeping the back healthy, mobile, movable, and more comfortable over day-to-day actions. If you would like to take a small reach, you can see how we back extension as we reach, or just take your fingertips up the wall. You might want to do just one or two of those to finish. All right, we're down at ankles, feet and toes now. If you've got your shoes on and you want to free your feet, release your feet, then please do. You might find that you get more movement without the restrictions, the tightnesses of your shoes surrounding your feet. But go for some foot pedals, some toe taps. There's a bit of knee bending going on here, as you can see. Some toe crunches. You'll feel the top of your foot really pushing up on your shoelaces, on the top, on the upper part of your shoe as that happens. Some toe lifts. So creasing the shoes in the other direction. And some toe grippers, so just gripping the toes into the ground there, into your shoes. Do a few of those. Here's your options. You might want a full backrest option here. Could be where you've got your foot underneath the table. We've got a point and a pull back. Not too quick on the movement pace. From a forwards position, sorry about that, a heel and a toe, picking up the knee, creating space underneath your foot for your foot to move. And the last one, if you're in or prefer standing, get your balance organised, use your external support so that you're not wobbling during this motion, and lightly tapping the toes, keeping the weight off the heel and the toe taps, and keeping the weight over your standing leg. And there we have some movements there, some ankle loosening that follows through to all of our stepping actions, whether we're sideways, forwards, backwards, diagonals. And there we have your 8 AM. Right, Sheila's off flight to Delhi today. How exciting. Enjoy. Thanks, Mrs. Perry. Thanks, Dawn. Am I stuck on a shoulder shrug? Oh no. Wi-Fi looks all right here. What's behind the curtains? Who's behind the curtains? Hopefully nobody, because that would be weird. Right, everyone, thanks for coming along. Maya, good to have you in as well. Have a good day, everyone. We're off. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I wish that wizard would do my paperwork today, but that's probably not going to happen. See you back here tomorrow.